Breadmaking for Fun and Profit by James Roy. They say that the true magic of bread is in the smell. Hence this advice for when you're thinking of selling your home. Before you so much as pick up the phone to call a real estate agent, head down to your nearest homeware store and pick up a bread maker. Not an expensive one, just a no-name generic bread maker. Next, wander over to the supermarket, which is probably in the same shopping centre just near the food court. Go straight to the baking aisle and grab 3 small boxes of bread mix. White, wholemeal, multigrain, it really doesn't matter. But not the gluten-free, because that's unnecessarily expensive, especially for the purposes of this exercise. Next, head home. Feel free to unpack your shiny new bread maker, but don't turn it on. Plug it in if you must, but there's no need to fire it up yet, since there are several steps. Place one of your 3 boxes of bread mix beside the appliance. The other 2 you should store in a cool, dry place. Now you can ring your preferred realtor. Tell them that you want them to come and perform a valuation. Book a date and time, but, and this point is critical, ask them for a specific time. There's a window to consider here, a window of roughly half an hour. If they're unable to commit to that window, hang up and call another realtor. This cannot be stressed strongly enough. Now it's time to consult the user's manual for the bread maker and find out how long the basic bread setting takes. Some bread makers have settings for heavy rye, crusty artisanal, beer bread, pizza dough. No, ignore these. Basic is what you're after. The time given should be somewhere between 2 and 3 hours. Now, subtract that amount of time from the expected arrival time of the real estate valuer. Does the reason for this need to be explained? No, not to anyone who has ever smelt the aroma of freshly baked bread curling out of the kitchen and into every corner of the home. Some science. The secret is in the way the yeast multiplies and grows to fill the thousands of chambers within the dough. That first languorous bite into fresh bread isn't really about the taste of the glutinous fibres, but rather those pockets of aroma being pressed by the tongue against the hard palate and bursting, releasing hundreds of tiny explosions of warm consolation. The aroma of new bread is merely a promise of this moment, a moment that emanates from the offerings of European bakeries and patisseries, from campfire fresh damper, from nani Afghani, Ethiopian injera, tortillas and naan. It's doubtful that the effect this has on the listed price of one's home has ever been properly quantified. This makes perfect sense, since the taste and smell and texture and social effects of good food are not quantifiable. Nor should they be. To attempt such an exercise would be to risk breaking the spell. Of course, it will not have been lost on the observant viewer that these instructions required a second and third box of bread mix. It seems to go without saying that the second is for the morning of the open house. Now, let's talk about coffee. Oh, I almost forgot. The third box of bread mix? Isn't it obvious? Leaving a much-loved family home is an emotional event. You're going to need support.